In the last episode, we looked at the new human jobs AI may create: software verifiers, machine analysts, AI cybersecurity specialists, systems architects, and strange new roles built around trust. But there is a darker question underneath that hopeful story. What happens to the people who never get access to those new jobs? What happens to workers whose tasks are automated before they are retrained? What happens to graduates when the first rung of the career ladder disappears? What happens to communities when the value flows to a few platforms, cities, and owners of infrastructure? The future of AI work is not only about invention. It is also about exclusion. This episode is about who gets left behind. Every major technology transition creates winners and losers. The uncomfortable truth is that the losers are rarely distributed randomly. They are often workers with less bargaining power, people with less time to retrain, regions with fewer employers, older workers with narrow career pathways, young workers trying to enter a profession, disabled workers whose tools were not designed for them, and communities already carrying economic stress. AI may increase productivity in the aggregate and still deepen pain in specific lives. That is why broad statistics can be emotionally misleading. A national economy can grow while a local labor market collapses. A company can become more efficient while the people who made the old process work are pushed to the edge. A spreadsheet can show efficiency while a household loses stability. A company can celebrate savings while a worker loses identity, routine, dignity, and the social network that came with a job. The first group at risk is not always the most glamorous profession in the headline. It is often workers whose tasks are routine, document-heavy, repetitive, and measurable. Clerical workers, administrative assistants, data entry teams, customer service agents, claims processors, junior analysts, paralegal support staff, scheduling coordinators, and back-office employees can all be exposed when generative AI enters the workflow. The International Labor Organization has warned that clerical work is among the categories most exposed to generative AI. And because clerical work is a major source of female employment, the effects can be gendered. This does not mean all those jobs vanish. Many will be redesigned, merged, monitored, or partially automated instead. But partial automation can still reduce headcount, weaken wages, intensify workloads, and make workers feel permanently replaceable. It means their bargaining position can weaken unless the transition is managed deliberately. The second group is young workers trying to get their first serious chance. This is one of the most under-discussed risks of AI. Many entry-level jobs are not valuable only because of the tasks they perform. They are valuable because they teach the worker how the profession works. Junior coders learn by fixing small bugs. Trainee lawyers learn by reviewing documents. Analysts learn by building basic models. Accountants learn by reconciling messy files. Marketers learn by drafting, revising, and being corrected. Those tasks may look inefficient from above, but they are also apprenticeship. They teach taste, judgment, terminology, professional norms, and the messy difference between textbook work and real work. If AI absorbs too much of that basic work, the career ladder can lose its first rung. Companies may still need experts in 10 years, but fewer people may have been allowed to become experts. The standard answer is learning new skills, and that matters. But the phrase is often used too casually. Learning a new AI-era role takes time, money, confidence, childcare, equipment, mentorship, employer trust, and a real job at the end. A displaced worker cannot live on motivational slogans. A parent working 2 shifts cannot casually become an AI security specialist at midnight. A warehouse worker cannot become a machine analyst without access to robot logs, safety systems, and supervised practice. A clerical worker cannot become a software verifier without a bridge into software teams. And people who have been told for years that their knowledge is obsolete may not immediately believe a company that suddenly promises opportunity. Building new skills only works when it is treated like infrastructure, not sold like inspiration. Another dark side is algorithmic exclusion. AI systems can quietly decide who gets interviewed, who gets investigated, who receives benefits, who is flagged as risky, or whose appeal is ignored. A widely reported example is Amazon's abandoned experimental recruiting tool, which was found to disadvantage women because it learned from historical hiring patterns. In the Netherlands, the childcare benefits scandal showed how automated risk profiling in public administration can destroy trust and damage families when bias, suspicion, and weak accountability combine. The danger is not that every algorithm is evil. The danger is that unfairness can become faster, colder, and harder to contest when it is wrapped inside a system people do not understand. A human decision can be challenged face to face. An automated decision often hides behind a screen, a score, a policy, and a chain of people who each claim the system made the call. The most frightening failures occur when automated authority meets real power. Facial recognition is one example. In 2020, Robert Williams was wrongfully arrested in Detroit after a facial recognition match was treated as evidence rather than a fragile lead requiring careful human verification. Cases like this reveal the danger of automation bias, the human tendency to trust a machine output because it looks technical, official, and objective. When that happens in policing, welfare, hiring, immigration, healthcare, or credit, the person harmed may not even understand where the decision came from. They are not only fighting a mistake, they are fighting a mistake with institutional confidence. And the more vulnerable someone already is, the harder it can be to demand explanation, appeal, compensation, or apology. AI can also leave people behind without firing them. It can make work harsher while keeping the job title intact. Algorithmic management can track speed, rank workers, assign tasks, predict performance, schedule shifts, monitor calls, and pressure employees through dashboards rather than direct conversation. A delivery driver may be managed by a route score, a warehouse worker by a pick rate, a call center agent by sentiment analysis and average handling time. The worker remains employed, but their autonomy shrinks. They may not know how a score is calculated, how to contest it, or whether a manager has the authority to override it. The risk is a workplace where machines optimize every second while humans absorb the stress, blame, fatigue, and surveillance. There is also hidden labor behind AI. Models may look magical from the outside, but many systems depend on people labeling data, reviewing harmful content, correcting outputs, moderating edge cases, testing safety boundaries, and cleaning messy datasets. Some of this work is skilled and valuable. Some of it is low-paid, psychologically draining, and invisible to the users who benefit from the polished product. The danger is that AI can create a shiny layer of intelligence on top of a poorly protected workforce beneath it. It can make one group of users feel superhuman while another group carries the cleanup, exposure, repetition, and emotional cost. If the future depends on human oversight, then the humans doing that oversight cannot be treated as disposable background machinery. Then there is geography and power. AI value can concentrate around companies that own the models, chips, cloud infrastructure, data centers, distribution platforms, and customer relationships. That does not automatically help the town where a support center closes, the small firm that cannot afford advanced tools, or the school system that lacks the equipment to train students properly. Even when AI creates growth, the question is where that growth lands. Does it produce better local jobs, or only remote profits? Does it make small businesses more capable or more dependent on a few platforms? Does it help rural hospitals, local councils, small manufacturers, and underfunded schools? Or does it mostly strengthen organizations already rich in data, talent, and capital? Does it expand opportunity, or intensify the gap between places already connected to the AI economy and places left waiting for a training grant? The dark side is not only about job loss. It is also about design that forgets people. AI tools can empower disabled workers, translate languages, summarize meetings, assist with writing, and reduce barriers. But they can also exclude people when interfaces are inaccessible, voices are misunderstood, accents are penalized, low-bandwidth users are ignored, or automated systems assume a narrow definition of normal behavior. A hiring bot that cannot handle a nonlinear career history can reject talent. A voice system that fails on an accent can deny service. A productivity monitor that misreads disability can punish a worker for needing a different rhythm. The irony is painful. A technology that could widen access can narrow it if the people at the edges are never included in testing. Inclusion has to be designed, or exclusion will be automated. There is one more cost that is easy to miss because it does not fit neatly into economic charts. Identity. Work is not only income, it is routine, status, competence, community, pride, and a reason to be needed. When AI changes a job, people may not only fear losing money, they may fear becoming irrelevant. A machinist who knows the sound of a failing motor, a nurse who understands the rhythm of a ward, a clerk who knows every exception in a public office, a support agent who can calm an angry customer. These skills may be hard to quantify, but they are real. That fear can be exploited by hype, politics, resentment, or corporate indifference. A responsible society cannot dismiss it as irrational. If people feel that the future is being built over their heads, they will resist it, distrust it, or be harmed by it. Human dignity is not a side issue in technological transition. It is the foundation of legitimacy. None of this means AI should be rejected outright. The point is more serious than that. If AI can improve healthcare, reduce dangerous work, lower waste, accelerate science, and help humans do more meaningful work, then the goal should not be to stop progress. The goal should be to govern progress. That means asking hard questions before deployment, not after the damage is done. Who is affected? Who was consulted? What can go wrong? Who can appeal? Who can override the system? What data was used? Who owns the benefit? Who carries the risk? What happens to the workers whose tasks are automated? What evidence would prove the system is helping rather than simply shifting cost onto someone weaker? If those questions are ignored, AI becomes extraction. If they are designed into the system, AI can become shared capability. This is where the next episode begins. Responsible AI cannot be a public relations phrase added at the end of a product launch. It has to be built into the design. From data collection, model evaluation, security, accessibility, explainability, human oversight, worker transition, procurement, auditing, red teaming, and incident response. Frameworks like the NIST AI Risk Management Framework and the OECD AI principles exist because trust does not emerge automatically from capability. Trust has to be engineered, governed, tested, and earned. The dark side of AI is not inevitable, but it becomes much more likely when speed, cost-cutting, and hype outrun responsibility. So who gets left behind? The answer depends on choices. Workers can be displaced without a bridge or trained into new roles. Algorithms can scale bias or be tested against human harm. Public systems can hide behind automated decisions or build appeal, explanation, and accountability. Companies can treat people as costs to remove or as stakeholders in a transition that must earn trust. AI is powerful enough to reshape work, but power is not the same as wisdom. The question is whether we build systems that make people more capable or systems that make people more disposable. In the next episode, we will explore responsible and ethical AI by design. What it means, why it matters, and how safety, accountability, transparency, and human dignity can be built into AI before the damage is done.